Hey everyone, welcome out to episode 307 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. Before we get into today's episode, just FYI to check out our sponsors, Pack Rat Comics. They host our live show for the moment, and also they're a big supporter of us, so thank them by checking out their website, packratcomics.com. You can also go to audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky, and as you probably have heard, and this is the first time we've been able to, because last time we recorded the intro way before that officially happened, which is I'm now part of the IABD Presents Network. Now, I still am having problems saying that because I do want to add the RH after it, and it's really... you were giving me... I said this too, it's like you were giving me crap for it, then at the Sterling story, it's like IABD RH... Oh, yeah, this is the third time today I've tried to say that to people. It's really hard. I was like, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. D4K.com. No, I did mess up, though, and I want to get this out of the way, because originally, when you were telling me about it, I still remember it as Guy is my BFF, even though that is not the intention of the show. Yeah. It is G-O-D is my BFF.
Yes.
It's easier to say
Very key
God.
difference in story makeup and everything.
That is true. But we are now part of that network, so... First off, check out G-O-D is my BFF.
Please.
And then check out...
Season 2 on sale now.
Oscars are my Super Bowl.
Oscars are my Super Bowl?
Is a podcast. It's really good. It's also part of the IABD Presents Network.
It is.
And of course, I think this is awesome, the flagship show, It's All Been Done Radio Hour. Go to itsallbeendoneradiohour.com, iabdpresents.com, and you can find tons of info there. You can find out how to see us, do some of our live shows. You can see the other stuff we offer. What are some of the other stuff that the network offers, Jimmy? Isn't there like one other thing right now that they offer? They do reviews.
Television reviews, which we'll discuss a lot of television shows here.
That's right.
This episode number is a prime number, and this is a prime episode to listen to.
Ooh,
307 is a prime.
Yeah.
I thought it was, and I Googled it to be sure while you were introing.
Well, you were really just trying to throw me off, weren't you? No, I'm kidding.
No,
that's right.
Well,
we might talk about that later.
What else is on the network? God, my mind went blank.
I know there's stuff that is coming up,
GBG,
too.
of course, is the newest one.
Sure.
Yeah, we've got a few things coming up that we're not quite ready to announce, but will be definitely by the first.
For some reason, I'm not sure what's been out yet or not, because I've heard it talked about so long, so I'm just going to let you handle this.
Sure. No, we have 6 programs right now, counting GBG.
Awesome. That's so cool. It's so awesome to be part of the network. It's going to be, it's so far pretty awesome. So if you want to see some other cool stuff, iabdpresents.com, as it's actually just a great jumping off point, and then you can have all the other stuff from there.
Sure. Dirty Story Night was the other one we did.
Dirty Story Night, mother puss bucket. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so we have a good episode.
A prime episode.
It's a prime episode. I see, with math jokes, I have to kind of think.
A prime cut of beef.
I hate
Grade
you.
A.
I hate you. See, you're see.
Nathan was here.
Okay,
we could improv back
this is the worst. Oh, I know. This is the worst. This is the worst because I can sit there and think for a second, and then I'll think of something. I'm like talking to a girl in middle school, like, "Oh, I should have said this. Did you say that?" No. That's like a day later. I'm like, "Oh, I should have said that then during that intro."
You should.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
I'm more of a thinker. I shook my head. But we have a lot of good stuff. We're going to talk about TV shows as the basis of that. We have someone at the door. He's going to take care of that. I'm going to keep going. We're going to talk about hopefully shows like The Exorcist, Kevin Can Wait, the show Bull, Westworld, This Is Us, and more. So stay tuned. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. We might also talk about American Horror Story, Pitch, Lethal Weapon. I don't know. We'll find out. So. Oh, cool. Well, that's all I really had to say. So we'll be back right after the theme song.
Way more serious. Totally different level.
By the way, just for record, at some point in this show, because we are recording actually now, we've been talking for...
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Well, I was like, let's get the politics stuff out.
Sure.
But if it does go, this might actually turn into the good, the bad, and the politicking. Or I don't know. The politiki.
So the good is... I don't have an answer. The bad is clearly Trump. The geeky is neither of them. The pretty good is Hillary.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Because he's just a cool guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Oh, the guy who hosts Star Talk and
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
He's the geeky. Let's throw him in there for just no good reason.
Okay.
Because he's just awesome.
And then the idiotic morons are Jill Stein and Gary Johnson.
I pulled up all the presidential candidates for the year.
Yeah.
And I knew of Johnson, but they had a list of all the other people there. Yeah. That's like, maybe, and then it gets down to the one, it's like, 1 state ballots. And there's like tons of them. I'm oh my God.
Remember when Colbert ran for president of South Carolina?
I thought that was like early in the process.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Well, yeah. By the way, I really enjoyed the First Lady on there the other night. It was really good.
On Colbert?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I feel like...
They're little like camping in the tent, and they're like, Steven... what I can't remember the questions they were asking, but it was.
I don't remember that part. No, I just thought the actual interview.
Oh, the interview was good too, but they did a bit where they like made it was basically like a living room fort, and they were talking like they were children. And then Stephen was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" and stuff like that. And they're like, if you could have dinner, or if you were on a desert island, who would you be trapped on a desert island with? And Steven's like, Barack Obama. And Michelle's like, oh. And he's like, who would you like to be trapped with? And she's like, Beyonce. He's like, can I change mine to Beyonce? And she's like, nope, you're stuck with Barack Obama.
My favorite, he asked her, he's like, look, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. He's just some of it just softballs. And he goes... You described your husband as being swagalicious. What is swagalicious? And do you feel that I am swagalicious? And she goes, if you have to ask, then you are not swagalicious. Do you even know what to be a swaggered it? And he couldn't answer it. He just got completely red. I was like, well done.
Michelle Obama for president.
Really? Yeah.
Her popularity's high.
Yeah. It was funny. And then, closest thing I'll get to politics, and then we'll hopefully move on, is Mel Brooks got the award for Mr. Obama Day for
and then
Lifetime.
tried to pants him.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought it looked like I didn't see that part.
Only Mel Brooks could try to pants the president and get away with it.
I saw from when I watched the clip, right before you got home, the clip to me looked like he actually started to fall because of the metal.
No,
and he even tried to help him up, and then I was like, oh,
no, he tried to pants Obama. Only Mel Brooks. Only Mel Brooks. I love that man.
Yeah. And I thought it was really cool because they were already clapping, and then when he actually stepped down and he just turned and did that, everyone went even more ballistic. I was like, yeah.
Mel Brooks is awesome.
Yeah. You know, my fiance has never seen The Graduate.
Really?
With Anne Bancroft, and because I find that relationship was just interesting to me, and I don't know why. It's one of those things
You don't know why, huh?
Yes and no. It's like, look, okay, when I grew up, I didn't know they were married up until probably the producers came out.
Oh.
Because I knew of Mel Brooks.
You mean the new producers?
The Broadway show.
Right.
Because that's when
with Elaine and Brock.
Because let's be clear, a lot of
you weren't alive when the original producers came out.
I was just a gleam in my mommy's eye.
Probably not even that.
Yeah. She hadn't even got out of grade school yet. That's weird. But no, because I heard of the producers, but they would rarely show it. It wasn't a big thing. Like, I think in comedy circles, people would talk about the producers. Man, that was the start of Mel Brooks, like being great and show of shows.
Didn't it win some awards and things?
The original film.
Yeah, let me look.
I think it did have a nomination or two. I
think so too. But I'm gonna Google it while we're talking. Keep talking about your point.
Yeah. If only there was one, Jimmy. Hey. No, but I just remember the producers wasn't as a big thing. So when I found out about that, it just made me go, wow. Because Anne Bancroft, to me, was cemented in The Graduate.
Its box office is only $1.6 million.
It bombed.
And the budget was $941,000. which isn't a bomb. It just did not. It made its money back. It made a profit. It just did not make a large profit. Although it won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. Gene Wilder was nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
And it wasn't
at the
Zero
Oscars.
Mostel?
Zero Mostel was nominated for Golden Globe for Best Actor.
Okay, I know Zero did.
But it won an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay.
Okay.
I thought it won an Oscar. That's why I didn't want to hang my hat on it until I looked it up.
Well, right, and I'm not disrespecting the film, because the film itself is actually really good. They just didn't show it. They didn't really talk about it. Like, you would hear about it from comedians on late night, like as a deep cut more than anything, because everyone would talk about Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein.
Both great movies.
They are fantastic. Yeah, so it just seemed weird to me that someone like of Anne Bancroft, which again, though, my pop culture view of her was The Graduate, serious kind of drama movie, and then you have Funny Man Mel Brooks, and then when you like learn about their relationship and how like they really did complement each other well, but it was just fascinating to me growing up. I never it's not like Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, to me, seem to kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Because they both kind of have that kind of like, I'm always yelling all the time vibe, like smart ass vibe. And also a little kooky. And Taxi, and then like...
Or Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira.
Well, but they had a comedy duo bit.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, those are
and that made
couples
sense
that make sense.
Right, yeah. Or Burns and Stacy and...
Are you just bringing this up so you can tell us how depressed you are for Bradgelina?
You know, I am, yes.
I saw right through you, Nick.
I know.
I saw.
And my tweets probably helped you with that, because I'm a very vocal tweeter.
I like the tweet, because there have been so many like things about Jennifer Aniston over that, and I like the tweet, I can't remember who it was, that was like, guys, it's been 12 years, she got married, she probably doesn't care, and may even have a little compassion for her fellow human beings. Why do we have to make this about her, and why do we have to make this like, oh, it's a Jennifer Aniston victory?
I don't. Okay, now, a lot of feminists are really pissed about all that, and I get it, I 100% do. But I think like there are better battles to fight on that front.
Yeah.
But no, I remember, was it New York Post, because it's a very reputable mag.
Of course.
Posted their whole front page is just Jennifer like laughing at something, and I was just like, really? Do you really like? Yeah. I can understand like a actual like a big blurb at the bottom or something. I mean, I don't really, but I mean, if you're going to play the game. You're going to be an idiot and do shit like that. You put it in the bottom corner of the... You don't make it the whole goddamn page.
Do you think they're getting divorced just because they were jealous of the attention that Hiddleswift breakup was getting?
No. Okay. I mean, first off...
we're discussing serious issues here.
We are. Very, 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 very serious issues that, you know what? It overshadows everything. It completes all...
My wife, Morgan, was extremely happy about Hiddleswift's breakup. Because she thought that Tom Hiddleston was way too good for Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay, girlfriend, yes. Yes. All right, yeah, I agree with that 100%. Because
I don't disagree.
Okay.
Just cracks me up.
And maybe this is just my bias of what I've heard in the media, because I am that guy in this scenario. But like, Taylor's kind of like John. She's like the female John Mayer. Like, she's kind of been around the block. And look, that's her right to do so. Sure. And you know what? Good for you. But then there's also part of me that's just like, you kind of go out with anybody and everybody. Maybe you should just find out who me is first. But she probably already has. But I don't know. That was bad. I apologize.
We don't know what goes on with her.
Yeah. She does write good music. I do find, because I was an old man with that stuff.
Some of it's crap.
Her last album, well, I think it was her last album, the 1986 album or whatever. I actually enjoyed that one. Okay. Because I got it for my fiance's sister, who loves Swift, and I got like a free download code from it. But I gave her the CD, and so I was like, winning. I get free music no matter what. And so
winning.
Right, yeah. So I got it, and I listened. I was like, this is a really good album. Shit. So, but
almost as good an album as So Long Stargazer's album, Look Up.
Right, that is true. Which you can get on iTunes,
yeah.
right?
Or on solonstargazer.com, I believe.
That is correct. And I bought a download code and an album. That's how.
Wow, you're a better fan than I am.
That's how gangster I am, motherfucker.
I only bought the album. I didn't buy the download code.
Well, okay.
I did buy the T-shirt though.
To be okay, then see, you're the better fan of me. Actually, just didn't have my size, and I was like, I'll wait till they get a little bit more bigger, which will happen, and then I was like, you have enough money to print out those 3 X's. Yeah. I'll totally take one. But they, I originally got an album, and then I put it up in my fiance's purse at the show we saw them at, because they performed for CD 102 here in Columbus.
Yeah,
and they did
that was great.
And that was awesome.
They were really good.
They were fantastic. That was actually, I was so proud. That was my first show too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was. Well, it's proud and sad because I felt horrible. It was my first show seeing them.
Yeah, you should.
And I do. But then I was like, oh, it was such a good venue to see him at. I think we had good seats too.
I've heard him play a few times, and this was my favorite performance that they've done. I don't know if I'm just familiar with the songs, so I can kind of sing along to some of them now, or it was like the acoustics of the room or what, but that show really hit, and I've enjoyed all their shows immensely, but that I've seen. But this one was a really, really good show, so I'm glad you got to see that.
Can I also say, too, and I'm not blowing smoke up their ass here, they were the classiest band fucking there.
All three bands are good, but yeah, they were classy.
You're being nice now.
No, they were.
Okay, there's a difference between being good and classy.
They were classy. They are classy.
Okay, I don't care what anyone says. 4 other different people heard it. That band that followed them said that they were So Long Stargazer. And at the beginning, now I did hear them say at the end, it's like, big thank you to So Long Stargazer. But that first time, they're like, we are So Long. I
thought that's what they said, but I could be wrong.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, 4 of the people, was like, 4 out of 5 people can't be wrong.
Yeah, they can.
Well, they could.
Yeah, they can. Yes, they absolutely can, Nick. Take that back.
You were correct. But you know what? This is why USA Today has their polls.
Okay.
And you know what? Later, we're going to do a color graph chart to showcase that.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, we got completely distracted off topic of. You've seen a lot of new pilots.
I've seen so many pilots.
Okay,
so many.
Okay, I'm gonna work kind of backwards here. What is the worst pilot you saw this season?
Oh, the worst? Oof. I mean, the one that I least enjoyed watching was The Exorcist, which I believe premieres in 2 days. Or by the time this goes up, I'm sure it'll be already out. When is this going up, by the way? Give me a
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. So it won't quite have aired yet. It airs tonight, then. But I hate The Exorcist movie. I've never been able to get through it.
Or the past, because we have time travelers that listen to
Sure.
this.
I've never been able to get through the movie. And so I really did not... I mean... Okay, so I hate the movie Hannibal, and I hate Silence of the Lambs, but I loved the show Hannibal. So just because I hate the movie doesn't mean I'll hate the show.
Look, I understand Hannibal.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, whoa.
Not my style. I don't like horror in general, but there are exceptions to that rule, more so on television than film.
I feel like that's not a normal horror film, though. I feel like that's actually more like a suspenseful thriller.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now, Hannibal, I think, is more a little more bloody and gory, but that's just, man.
I think I watched it back to back.
The show, Hannibal?
I love the show. It's so beautiful artistically, and the acting. Oh, it's amazing. And then you get like Bates Motel, where I liked the show. I loved the movie Psycho. That's a great movie.
Oh, everyone
great flick.
Well, everyone usually likes Silence of the Lambs, but so I can't hold that. I can't say that with.
But I hate The Exorcist. Hate it so much.
The movie?
The movie, and I hated the show equally.
What?
Could not. The show, my mind wandered so much watching the show that when I went to write my review, I had a hard time like figuring out exactly what the plot was that I had just watched because I just kept tuning myself out. It's got Gina Davis and Alan Ruck in it, and I like Gina Davis and Alan Ruck. Yeah,
Gina Davis.
Yeah, I know. I love Alan Ruck. I did not approve of The Exorcist. Now, if we're talking about like shows that are just very, very typical, I did not review Kevin Can Wait, but Kevin Can Wait was god awful abysmal. I love Erin Hayes to death. I think she's hilarious. I will not watch another episode of that show.
Wait. That's Kevin Can Wait?
Yeah, that premiered on CBS earlier this week.
Yeah, it was Monday, yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah, I saw several people say that Big Bang's premiere was really, really great, and I just thought it was so-so.
I liked it.
I didn't love it.
I don't think it was the best thing ever in the goddamn world, but...
I saw at least one article saying that it was the best episode they've ever done, and I totally disagree with that.
I think I think the frustrating thing is that they introduced the Penny's family dynamic, which is awesome to see. But now I just want to see more of that.
Right.
And being it's a sitcom
and since it was they should have done that with an hour show or a 2-parter or something.
Right. Well, that's the one thing about Chuck Lorre, which, I mean, he sticks to his guns, which I credit him for, but then I also don't like, which is when there are times where he should take the supersized episode or ask for it. Because for a fact, your number one show wants to do an hour long and win both time slots. Yeah. They would totally give it to him. But Chuck Lorre's just like, you know what? We're good. We're just going to stick to our half-hour time slot. And there's a part of me that you're like, you know what? I get it. I respect for you for holding your guns because that's what sitcoms used to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like the 80s where they start, oh my God. Okay, to go... I've been watching Cheers nonstop. It's actually a good show. Mm-hmm. It's not the best show in the world. As a matter of fact, I actually skipped... This is horrible. And I'm going to go back and watch it now. But part of my fascination with it is because I love Frasier. I am a huge Frasier fan. And I was like, okay, I want to see what the show was with Coach because it's one of those things like pop culture. Yeah. You know of Coach, but you remember Woody.
Right.
And then you're like, where's the fuck's Frasier? Frasier doesn't show up until like season 3. Mm-hmm. Oh, season 2, season 3. Well, okay, shit. So halfway through, I was like, okay, I remember what Cheers is. This is okay, but I feel like it's not all there yet. So then I skipped right to that part where Frasier premiered, and I was like, okay, it's okay. It's old school classic comedy, which is good, but it's not what And then midway through season 3, from season 3 up, I've been watching it like every episode in order properly. And then once I get up to season 5, I'm going to go back, watch the rest of season 1 and all of 2, and then jump back because I realized I was a disservice because there was actually, I kind of, like Cheers to me is the first one that Frasier, I think, did it well. Friends kind of did it, yes and no, which is there are multiple plot lines going on. And Friends, they would start it off like the first 5 episodes of the season and the last 5, and then everything in between was kind of everywhere, usually. Frasier kind of, to me, felt like it would do it until the middle season started to suck a little bit. Well, not as good. Then they kind of did whatever. But they would do like The Monk, which I hate they do, which is the opening and the finale, and that's it. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that either.
No.
But like there's some good stuff in there, and like very clearly, like they're not politically correct yet, because I remember the Cheers finale where Sam's like, I have a sex addiction and I need to get taken care of. Aww. And you're like, which is kind of funny. It's the fitting ending to that show. Sure. And then they touch on it again in Frasier, which is, of course, more apropos and hysterical. But like you're watching, like, man, he just fucks anything that moves. But anyway, if you get a chance and you have Netflix, and it's only a half-hour show, it's breezy to watch. Cheers is actually pretty good. I will... And like, there's some actors that just show up like for it, and you're just like, Dan Hedaya, holy shit, he's Rhea Perlman's ex-husband, Nikki, and which they had a Doom spinoff, which I did not know about until because I was like, I don't remember this character at all, and I was like, anyway, sorry, I did that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I really like Cheers, it makes me.
It's one of the shows I've always wanted to go back and watch, but I haven't.
You know what? That should be a podcast.
Oh, God. I don't have time, Nick.
We'll figure it out.
I don't have time.
You don't have to be the... Okay, no, but here's the thing, though. You should, though, because you've never seen it.
I saw some episodes when I was a kid.
No, okay, you know what I mean. You've not really seen it.
No, I haven't.
Look, I watched Cheers, but I've not really seen it.
Sure.
That's what I mean. Like, I have seen Frasier. I have seen Friends. I have not... Yeah, it's one of those things.
I've seen Friends. Yeah.
So...
Anyway. The other show that was really, really bad was Bull. Starring Michael Weatherly.
I saw your review. I knew right away. I was like, oh man, it's like every time they probably give you these, the very first thought was like, why? He's gonna hate it. He's going to hate it
because it's a procedural.
Yeah,
but this was like, I mean, I will still say this is a well-made procedural. If it's a well-made procedural, this was not a well-made procedural. This was a pile of shit, and I didn't realize till after I watched it that Dr. Phil created it, and then it was based on his life before of his show. And that, to me, was when it clicked into place and made sense why it was such a pile of shit. Full disclosure, I hate Dr. Phil, too.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fine.
He's a below-hearted asshole. But
actually, people who've listened to the show know we've done Dr. Phil sketches.
It's true,
and
but
parodies, yeah.
I did not hate him at the time. I was kind of ambivalent about him when I used to push those then. Now I just cannot stand the man. So, yeah, Bull was really, really bad.
Who do you hate more, him or Dr. Oz? There is no equal. You have to go one or the other.
I mean, if you'd asked me that last week, it probably would have been Dr. Phil, but then Dr. Oz did that stupid Trump stunt, and I'm kind of, I don't like either one of them.
Yeah, but that's not an option. You have to hate one more than the other.
I think this week, anyway, I hate Dr. Oz more, but...
Fair enough. Okay.
But that could be a temporary
thing. We'll follow up on that next week, and we'll see progress. We'll see if there's progress. No, we're not. We're not at all.
I know.
Okay, so Bull is bet. Well, I read your review for that, and I'll actually post... I didn't see your review for The Exorcist or Kevin Can Wait.
I did not review Kevin Can Wait.
That's right.
It was, I just watched it.
But Exorcist you did?
It's not posted yet. I would assume it gets posted soon.
Right.
Fox had some issues this year where they shut off a bunch of people's screening access, including like people that write for TV Guide. So it wasn't just the little guy.
Yeah.
I did not get Fox turned back on until Tuesday. So I had to watch the Fox pilots for this week, Lethal Weapon, Pitch, The Exorcist, all Tuesday night, and write up all the reviews quickly on Wednesday.
All right. Well, I know for sure Bull's up, and I'll...
Bull is up.
I'll post that in the show link. So if you want to read,
The Exorcist
and
may be up by the time this
I didn't get the sense that I know you didn't like it,
sure
but I didn't get the sense that you like, as you were saying, it's fucking shit.
Oh, Bull, really?
Yeah. Okay. Because again, you're classy with how you.
I try to give reasons for what
and you do
say.
But I'm just saying, like, wow, man, like I didn't know there was some venom behind that bark and that bite, so to speak. So because I knew you didn't like it.
No,
because even I was just like, oh man, Jimmy tore that to shreds, but in a classy, critical way.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's fucking shit. I was like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, no, I feel like I can be a little more blunt on this podcast. And if they want to see why I think it's shit, go read my review, which is 600 words of balanced analysis. It's not just
I agree. Okay, what were some good shows?
So my favorite new pilot this year that you will not have seen yet, and the review's probably not posted yet, is Westworld on HBO. It's so good.
Oh my god. Okay, there are spoilers for this, and I'm fine with that, but can you let me know if James Marsden, who plays those who might know him as Cyclops, Hairspray,
yes,
the very underrated but not really Hop, does he die in the pilot episode? I need to know this. I'm sorry, listeners, fuck you, but I need to know this.
I am not at liberty to say. In fact, funny enough, I had finished my review of Westworld. I can tell you after we stop recording.
God damn it! Motherfuck! You have no idea how much this bothers me. Because
okay. But no, publicly, I had finished my review, and then I get an email from HBO that they sent out to everybody, because I am assuming there was some issue, that very specific to his character, like, don't mention this. And I was like, oh, well, that's mentioned in my review because it happens pretty early in the episode, but it is surprising when it happens. And so we'll talk about it off the air.
Okay, look. We've talked about this before, that sometimes I go into a show, and sometimes the only reason why I watch the show and or a movie, which is sometimes good for the film, which I get the reason behind it, which is I just like that actor.
Sure.
And I just want to see...
He's very good in this.
You're not helping me, man. I know
you are. I know. I can't publicly say.
But I know
since
that.
You're releasing
I know
this
that.
episode.
But I'm just saying that when I saw him in it, I was like, look, Marsden is not like, which makes me sad. He's not blowing the lid off of Hollywood. He's not knocking it, but he's a constantly in work actor.
Sure.
He's going to get fucking killed in that, at least in the first few episodes. And so then, the more I keep watching, I was like, he's barely in the shot. I was like, motherfuck. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't want you to say any more. I'm just saying that's my side of it.
He is very central and important when the show starts. Whether that continues or not, you will have to watch to find out.
Fuck you. I know. I didn't
but
really mean
it's
that.
not just him. It's him and Jeffrey Wright.
Well,
and,
like for example, Anthony Hopkins, like he's barely in it too, and they're
Shannon Woodward's one of the stars of it.
Yes.
And
so there's all these great people in there.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a wonderful
Ed
show.
Harris is the Man in Black.
Ed Harris?
Not Man in Black. What's he officially? Can you just say that? There was a certain name that they had him in the original movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what name they put him under.
I thought it was the Man in Black, but I might be mixing up.
It might be the Man in Black. I can't remember, but yeah, I could.
I love Ed Harris. I mean,
he's wonderful.
I feel like as more time passes, granted he's older, he just doesn't. I don't feel. I mean, he's probably doing more indie stuff, but I feel like he's more under the radar. And so to see him in this, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You get excited, like fucking Ed Harris, Anthony Hopkins, James Marsden, the girl from Daredevil, I think is in it too, right? Or True Blood?
From True Blood, Rachel Evan Wood.
Oh, Rachel
Yeah,
Elton
yeah,
Wood
yeah.
from
She's
Sorry.
great.
So that's what I'm
great.
saying. Like you're like yes, this is awesome. And then your knowledge of entertainment kicks in. You're like, motherfuck. I know. I just wanted to get that out because that bothers me.
So, honestly, HBO gave me access to 4 episodes of this, and I have only watched the pilot because I could tell a few of the special effects, especially the opening credits, weren't done. And I really want to keep watching because most of the episode looked great, but I kind of want to wait until I can watch it the way it's meant to be seen. But it's amazing.
When is it premiere? When is it premiere for everybody?
October 2nd?
Oh, Jesus. So your premiere won't go live for another week?
Sometime next week it'll go up.
Well, by the way, if you follow us on Twitter,
or
Jimmy on Twitter, you can, or on Facebook or whatever, you will see it there. Because I will, I usually try to retweet some of.
I see BD Presents. It'll.
I see reviews more on Facebook than I do on Twitter.
I post on both, but yeah.
So,
Westworld's phenomenal. I'd say halfway through this, I feel I can spoil because it's not really spoiling. Halfway through, I was like, this is just Jurassic Park, but there's no dinosaurs. It's in the Wild West.
Yeah.
And then I'm researching as I'm writing my review because I don't research ahead. I want to go in cold, but I'll research before I write. And I'm like, oh, this is based on a movie that was written and directed by Michael Crichton. That's why it feels like Jurassic Park.
In what year? 1976, 1972. It was in the 70s.
I don't remember. And I haven't seen the film, and I really want to see the film.
Yul Brynner is the Ed Harris character, which,
and then there was a second film that he wasn't involved in, and then there was a spin-off TV show that only had 3 of the 5 episodes they made. So I want to watch that stuff. But when I read what the spin-offs and the sequels were, it really... Because at first I was like, I really love this show. Where are they going to go with it? I feel like there's a limited place to go with it. And then when I saw what the sequel and the spin-off were, I was like, oh no, there are lots of ways they can go with this. And so I'm very excited. Oh, and the girl that stars in Borgen, which is the Danish series, she's one of the stars of this. It's really, really good. Anyway, so that one's fantastic. I love This Is Us. It fills the parenthood shaped hole in my heart.
I did read that review from you.
Did you see it? That's already aired now. The twist with... spoiler alert. The twist with Jason Ritter and Mandy Moore, I called pretty early in the episode.
Jason Ritter?
Yeah. No, not Jason Ritter. Milo, whatever. Yes.
Peter from Heroes.
So Morgan and I were watching it, and I called the twist, and I said, no, I'm wrong. There's no way that's it. And then we get to the end, and I'm like, nope, that was the twist.
Do you notice that Dan Fogelman in all the scripts does have a weird kind of twist to it, and they're very basic relationship stories? Because for those who don't know, he also wrote Crazy Stupid Love. I'm sorry. This is where you and I disagree a little bit. Look, my logic is if I go to a Disney movie, I know for a fact it's going to have a happy ending.
Sure.
But if you can get me interested in everything enough, I can be blinded to whatever may come at the ending, even though I know they're hitting all the right notes that they should be hitting. So, for example, you and I have disagreed with WALL-E. I loved WALL-E, I was very surprised even up to that point of the ending. Now, in retrospect, I knew I was like, it's a Disney movie. Of course WALL-E's going to return back to whatever. But, there's always that, if I get engrossed with what's going on...
You'll forget what...
Right. And I was so fucking... And in retrospect, if I was thinking about this the other day because someone posted their review of this, and I read yours after, but where they talked about the twist, and I was just like, no way. Yeah. He did it again. And then I went right to Crazy Stupid Love, and the whole thing of just going in retrospect now, if I was watching that movie, I would totally... I would just read the synopsis of it, like I am wont to do sometimes. Halfway through, I would realize, without them saying it, oh, that's totally Steve Carell's daughter. And then when I'm watching it, though, I'm so wrapped up in what's going on, I'm completely blown away. It's like I'm the stupidest person in the world, and I completely fell for a good zinger. Yeah. But it was so good, and I do miss Parenthood. But is it Katniss? Jason Katniss? Am I saying? I always say names wrong anyway.
Oh, the
from
Parenthood. Yeah, sure.
Yes, Jason K, the guy who did Friday Night Lights. Yes. He actually said that there may be a revival at some point.
Yeah, well, they've talked about doing TV movies and things.
Yeah.
They used to do all the time, TV movies, like a Thanksgiving movie or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. No, the Waltons, the Brady Bunch. A lot of those shows used to do TV movies when they were canceled.
Yeah, that's right.
And they've been talking about doing something.
Well, I remember the more Matlock stuff because that was a show in Columbo. Yeah. Those were shows they got canceled, and they would come back for maybe a 3-episode miniseries run. or in a one-off. I remember the court ones because I think that's what my grandma watched. But you're right. No, Brady Bunch, very Brady Thanksgiving, very Brady Christmas. They would do all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still.
Oh, that makes me miss TV. The old days of TV. Sometimes
they used to bring those characters back more instead of just rebooting and recasting. Anyway.
Yeah.
Speaking of reboots, MacGyver wasn't terrible.
Is that on
why
CBS
they make
too?
him? Yeah, but they made him part of a team, of course. Which
you're gonna list that under your good ones?
I said it wasn't terrible. I didn't say it was. Okay. I'm not gonna watch it. It wasn't terrible.
Okay, so I'm not gonna. Okay, well,
that goes in the middle category. To stay with good ones. The Good Place. I'm enjoying The Good Place with Ted Danson and Kristen.
I want to see that. My fiance just didn't look. I was like, fun. I'm like Ted Dan. I'm like, look, and maybe it's just because I'm on a Cheers kick, but bored to death. He completely 100% won me over.
Yeah.
And then during that point of that, I also started catching up on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then I realized, oh my God, Ted Danson is a dramatic and comedic genius. He's just a good actor.
Yes.
And I
like this role for him.
Right, and I think, Kristen, come on.
Always.
I love Kristen.
And actually, the third episode airs tonight.
Yes, while we're talking about this.
Yeah, so, last night now for you people.
This is good.
Tomorrow in the future. The Good Place.
The Good Place. God darn it.
Yeah.
I know I added it to my Hulu queue so I can watch it.
Because it's not heaven. It's just The Good Place.
Yes, and I remember, I think one of the things they talk about explicably tonight, I saw a teaser on Twitter for it, was she keeps trying to cuss.
Yes.
And she can't.
Fork!
And he's like, you mean, that's some bullshit. Like that. And I was like, yeah.
Good way to get around network television with allowing her character to be crass and rude and ridiculous and make it realistic.
Right.
But also avoid her saying
set your base reality.
Right.
And then give a first unusual thing.
Yes, I liked it.
I love it.
I really enjoyed One Mississippi on Amazon, which is Tig Notaro's show.
Okay, was that good? Okay,
I've only watched the pilot so far,
which
is about
Louis
her going home to watch her mother die.
Yeah, okay.
It's super depressing, but I love it.
Is it a miniseries or is it actually a series?
It's a series, but I think there's only 6 episodes in the first season.
Okay, because I'm sorry, I watched the first 2 seasons of. I watched the first season and a half season of Marin.
Yeah,
and I like Marin. I like the cast. I just didn't feel it's not like Louis where I feel like it's going somewhere, even though there is kind of an arc sometimes to this, kind of not. And I like Mark Maron. Matter of fact, I can't remember the kid's name, but the kid, Big Head from Silicon Valley, is in it too. And I feel like he's sometimes squandered on Silicon Valley, so it's nice to see him in Maron.
I agree.
And it's just,
I'm also midway through season 2 of Maron, but I like it. I want to keep going.
Okay, maybe
I haven't watched it in a while, but I like it.
Maybe I need to go back and revisit it then, because it just got very Louis, I had to stop because it was just getting too depressing, and I realized I need to recharge.
One Mississippi is more depressing than Louis.
Really? Okay.
And then today, it's not a particularly groundbreaking show. Honestly, it's a very comfortable show. I was watching. I'm like, I've seen this before, but I don't care. I love it. It's on Netflix Easy.
Oh yeah, I saw your review today on it, and it actually I didn't know it was coming out, and it made me want to check it out.
I thought it was coming out tomorrow. I thought I had another day, and Netflix is also one that changed their screening stuff, and I'm having issues with them. Hopefully, I'll still get Luke Cage before next weekend. But
oh my gosh,
I only have 2 episodes of Daredevil left. I'm going to finish it before I watch.
Yes,
I'm going to finish it before I watch Luke Cage because I did not finish Jessica Jones before I watched Daredevil season 2. Anyway. I did. But when Daredevil season 2 premiered, I had not finished Jessica Jones.
I got you.
So I had to watch the premiere and then go back and finish Jessica Jones.
You did watch Jessica Jones.
I watched the premiere and went back, and I didn't want to go back.
Okay, now there's only 2 episodes left for you left,
yes.
And I loved Daredevil season 2. But it really is a show that had 2 minds.
Yeah,
and it's almost like 2 volumes within a book.
Sure.
Because literally the Punisher
and Elektra, they're 2 different stories.
Right, but I feel it's kind of funny, like the last half when Elektra shows up, it feels like you're still there is a joke that I made. She was
in the first half quite a bit.
She is, but it doesn't feel like it's Daredevil's show. It feels like, we're watching the Punisher guest starring Daredevil and his people. And then when Elektra really shows up, that part where the Punisher, I think, gets arrested or whatever, and then it ends in the big, the possible ninja fight.
Yeah,
in the
that's like episode 6. That's midway.
Yeah, midway through that, and then that's when Elektra shows up.
Yeah,
that we know.
Yeah,
and you're going like, oh, and then you watch it, and then it just feels like the first season where everything's slowly threading up into the big thing. And it's not until these last 2 episodes you'll really see that the first half I feel pays off beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
But up until that point, I feel like, oh, I'm watching the Punisher show with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And then Daredevil shows up and goes, it's my show again. Yay. Which, look, I'm not going to lie. John Berthal is a really good Punisher.
His spinoff's going to be good.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. I like to throw out there, oh, God, what's his name? He was the original Punisher that Marvel tried in the early 2000s.
Talking about Patrick James?
Yes. I thought...
I didn't see it.
The guy from Hung, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's a good Punisher. I just thought that they tried to make it humorous, which Marvel does that. They put some humorous stuff in there.
Which he didn't want to do. They kind of forced him to do.
Right.
Because he made that gritty video online of what he thought it should be. I saw that. I didn't see his movie.
And that's what I'm saying. And if you do watch that, he is the Punisher. He just plays. It's like all Marvel movies. There's a little humor in there. My dad loves that version of the film. And I do too. It's very middle of the road. I wanted it grittier too, but this version too, like, is very unique and really good. And as always, like, Matt Oh, by the way, can I just throw out there? I just remember I was watching with Sarah, my fiance. The moment the ninjas started attacking the hospital, I paused and I was like, "This is what a fucking Ninja Turtle episode should be like." And they don't fucking do this shit because that's what it was based. The hand, the foot. That's what that shit was based after. And I was like, "That is a fucking ninja fight. I want a ninja fight, god damn it." Like, it was so good. I'm sorry. I loved that season so much, even though I felt like that was kind of a weakness against it until it became. Anyway, I'm glad you have 2 episodes left. I'm so proud.
I'm gonna finish it this weekend.
Oh, good man.
I watched like 6 episodes straight last Sunday because I was home.
So good. Yeah, you got like a day off to kind of just.
I know, it was great.
How did that happen?
I worked in the morning.
How did that happen?
I worked on stuff in the morning, but in the afternoon I just watched Daredevil.
That's good, man.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. I loved it. I was home like all weekend last weekend. I can't remember the last time that's happened. I worked on television reviews all day Saturday, but Sunday I took some time for myself.
Good man.
Anyway.
Sorry, easy.
Lethal Weapon had a great pilot, but I don't think the show is going to be anything.
I felt that your review started off saying that it's an okay pilot.
Yeah.
But then by the end of it, I got more. It's almost like your Batman Superman way. It was just feeling like the actors don't really have chemistry, and that's
and that's going to hurt them long term. But the pilot itself was about 90% character development and 10% case of the week. And that's why I liked it.
So, but you're not. Are you going to maybe give it another shot?
Probably not, because I'm just too busy that I have to be super picky. And even some of the shows I'm saying are good, I probably won't watch because I'm so super busy at this point, running a freaking entertainment network.
Let me ask this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Damon Wayans junior, senior, however that works.
Sure.
Do you feel that he doesn't, in terms of today's TV viewing network, he fits the bill? My logic here is, and allow me to keep going with it before you answer, is let me ask this to sidetrack. Sorry, have you actually seen the Lethal Weapon movies?
Yes, but a long time ago.
Did you like them?
Yeah. Okay,
that's a better response. I thought that you didn't. My first time I was reading, I was like, he doesn't like those movies at all. Or I'm surprised that you would like them. I'm glad that you like them because I think they're good action films. I think I saw them in like high school. I think they're funny action films.
They were.
They're what they are. But Danny Glover looks like that cop.
Yeah.
Who, now granted, we're also in a different time period where actors could look like real men back then, and nowadays everyone must look buff and whatever. Do you feel like that, outside of the chemistry part, do you feel like that also hurts Wayne? Because when I look at that, my first thought is, because other guy, look, you need a good, decent looking wild man for Riggs. Murtaugh, you need just a grizzly old grumpy man. Yeah. And Wayne's can do grumpy because sometimes that's what his humor is, but he doesn't look chiseled out in that way. He looks chiseled in the Adonis way. Right. And it makes me like, that doesn't look
I think that's part of it. And I think both actors had chemistry with the rest of the cast, just not each other. And so that's why I still thought the pilot was pretty great. The story of the pilot was pretty great. And it didn't feel like it was going to be Case of the Week, but you just know it's going to be Case of the Week. And the fact that the two lead actors' chemistry wasn't there was okay in the pilot because it wasn't as essential there, but will be more essential going on. There were definitely a couple scenes that fell flat in the pilot because of that lack of chemistry. Mm-hmm. But there was a lot of setting up the characters too, which as long as they weren't with each other was fine. So it's
the one twist I don't remember in the original movies was that Murtaugh's wife was the head of the police force, and What? Wasn't? That's what I get from the commercials.
No, Murtaugh's wife's not at all connected to the police force.
Oh, because she's like, the police captain looks at Riggs and just like, make sure you get him home to me, or something like that, and make sure he comes home to me every night. And he's
I think the wife tells Riggs that, but that's because he went over to their house and had dinner with them.
Oh, it looked like they were in the police precinct in that clip. I was like, that looks like
their boss. No, the captain is Kevin Ram from Desperate Housewives and Mad Men.
Fuck, I completely missed that
Kevin
scene.
Ram. So no,
because some of the clips I saw, it looked like she was actually at home, but also in the police precinct.
No, she's only at home.
All right. Okay, that makes me feel, because I was like, well, I guess that's one way to make things more interesting. No. Well, okay, I feel better then.
Yeah. Pitch was pretty good, and I don't like sports, but you had a feel good pitch.
What is Pitch?
Pitch is about the first major league female athlete. So basically, a girl gets called up to be pitcher for the San Diego Padres in Major League Baseball.
This TV show?
Yeah, on Fox. Okay. And they use the real MLB logos and everything. The league's cooperating. And Dan Lauria is the coach.
Okay.
Mark Paul Gosler is the team captain, the catcher, who has grown a full beard and looks schlubby in a good way, like as he should as catcher.
Yeah, because catchers are
right.
Yeah.
And Mark Consuelos is the general manager. Allie Larder is her manager. It's got a good cast. It's going to be soapy. But some people are already crowning it the new Friday Night Lights.
Oh.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's got potential to kind of go in.
Allie Larder as the manager just seems like it's a
not manager of the team, manager of just the pitcher. She's like her agent, I guess.
Oh, I got you.
Agent. Sorry.
Okay.
Probably misspoke.
Well, for a second, no, it's okay. For a second there, I thought, I was like, wow, they're doing a nod to Major League.
No, but that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
No. There's, of course, it's dealing with the sexism. Of course, it's dealing with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a good show. I enjoyed it. That one I haven't decided if I'm going to watch or not, but I'm tempted.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last pilot I can think of rough stuff, Designated Survivor, was not as good as I'd hoped it would be. It was pretty good. Mm-hmm. What bothers me about it is Kiefer starts off playing this very mild-mannered guy that should not be in charge of anything, and then immediately switches into Jack Bauer kick-ass mode, like late in the pilot. And to me, it would have been far more interesting to see a growth arc there. And I read one review that was like, this wasn't intentional. It was probably written to be a growth arc, but he needed one moment to stand up, and Kiefer just can't do anything except be awesome hero, because that's Kiefer. And that could be true. But I wanted to see the growth arc.
What was the name of that show again?
Designated Survivor. He's the HUD secretary, and the State of the Union's bombed, and everybody in government dies, so he gets to be president.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
It was fun, but we'll see.
But you're not going to keep watching that one either because of time.
I might keep
really
watching. That one in picture the two I'm on the fence about. For sure, I'm going to watch The Good Place, This Is Us, and Westworld. I'd say Pitch and Designated Survivor are the ones I'm on the fence about.
Okay. Now, there's one show we haven't talked about yet, and I absolutely adored it. And I read your review, and I love Speechless.
Oh, Speechless was good. That I would put that on the fence with Pitch and...
Okay. Because, now see, my fiance didn't love it, but I absolutely adored it. Like, it hit, like, it was sarcastic and kind like... It made fun of the situation, not of the disability.
And it didn't make the whole show about that.
Right.
It felt like a typical family sitcom, which was a point in its favor in this case. And I like Cedric Yarbrough. And I like Minnie Driver. I like John Ross Bowie.
Yes. Bowie
cracked me up when they were in the van, and he's like, I need to go chase him, and one of you needs to stay here and watch the car. Which one should run with me? And then the wheelchair kid flicks him off, and he's like, that's fair.
That was really right. I really love the fact that the kid is he's kind of an asshole.
And I like the fact that he actually has that disability, because there have been a lot of flack for TV shows using people that don't have the disability to play those parts.
And I don't mean he's an asshole. I mean, like, if you were really stuck in that situation and people were kind of talking about you around you.
But his family doesn't.
No, they don't.
His family, he is just another member of the family.
Right.
Which is great.
But that's what I'm saying. I really like that. Well, sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. The mom talks around the other kids more because it's all about the one son's disability.
So,
which, of course, that's the plot of the pilot.
What I like about this is I feel like shows like Will and Grace and Modern Family got us all familiar to gays if you didn't have any gay people in your life until people became very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see shows do the same thing with disabilities or with other categories of people.
You mentioned Parenthood in your review, which I agree with, which I knew nothing about Asperger's.
Asperger's, yeah.
With Max.
Now that kid didn't actually have the disability.
No, that's true.
That's starting to go along those lines. Having this kid in this, I thought This Is Us. Sometimes people dismiss really obese people and write them off and treat them as less than. Mm-hmm. And This Is Us has a really good character that's part of what her character is.
One possible,
right. And she was probably my favorite character in the episode. And so I'm like, it's good that you start to get these exposure to other people because that's what we need in this country instead of spewing hate and
preach on, brother. Preach on. Yeah.
Right? So any of these shows that start to show you characters that you don't typically see on television and then give you the opportunity to see them as real people and understand that there's a person behind that person you're making fun of or that category you're making fun of, I appreciate. And when you're not doing it blatantly preachy, which these shows aren't, I appreciate that as well.
Yeah. Did you? Okay, I watched it. I enjoyed it. I don't know how long it's going to go.
What?
Because it's a weird show.
Yeah.
But it's kind of attuned to my weird abstract personality. It's Son of Zorn.
I laughed at the pilot.
You did?
I laughed at the pilot.
Like there are sometimes where like the points where I think they were trying hard to be funny.
Yeah.
Like with just being clever.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh as much. But the stuff where they just kind of point out just the oddness of the situation, like he fucking chopped up the table, shit like that. Like that's not clever. That's just like, well, no shit. He got mad. He's a barbarian. That shit just cracked me up.
Yeah.
And like, the killing of the bird, like that's all their trailer is.
I set a season pass for that one.
Oh my God.
I don't think it's going to last long, which
I know, right?
Why I'm more willing to embrace it because I'm like, that could go in my maybe category, but since it's not going to last, I'm going to see it.
Okay. I don't think it's going to go, but I think if it does, it has to be paired with it, which is what it is now. I think I thought it was. They might have changed it. It's paired with Last Man on Earth.
It is.
Those shows complement each other very well in very different ways.
Yeah.
And
I love Last Man on Earth.
I do too. I'm kind of oh man. I heard that someone's gonna bite it in that first episode. Another one. And I'm just like, oh no, because look, of all the characters you're gonna take out, they got rid of what was Tandy's
Boris Cujo?
What was Tandy's real name? Not Tandy, it's Phil. They got rid of the other Phil.
Boris Cujo.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, I get older. I'm more worse with actors' names. I used to be like, who's that dude in Last Man on Earth who's like, blah, blah, name. Here you go. Let's do 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. That's who that was? Yeah. No shit. Yeah. He just didn't have a little... Yeah. That could be bad because I made a little mustache sound, but that could be taken for like a Hitler. That is not what I meant to say.
Sure.
I meant to like the beard mustache thing. Sure. The manly goatee that goes, I'm on a horse, I'm going to land, I'm flying a kite.
Yes.
And you're going like, he looks good.
Yeah.
I should buy Old Spice.
I was a little disappointed Jason Sudeikis' arc came to an end last year.
Okay,
I assume.
Right. Everyone assumes that. I feel like they left it very open-ended, so if they really did want to, they could bring him back.
I feel like they could, but I also worry that that would not be authentic to the show.
Well, I don't... Here's my thing with the show, and I think Chris Miller and Phil Lord has said that they're producing the show, they're hoping to maybe see the answer. And of course, the actor who he's co-running it now, but he's Tandy.
Will Forte.
Will Forte. He's kind of more in the camp, but we don't need to know anything else.
He's like with him.
I feel like at some point, if the show is going to keep going, you got to tackle that eventually. It's not like The Walking Dead necessarily. I really don't.
One of the leftovers.
Yeah. Well, okay. Good point. Okay, fair enough. I'll secede on that a little bit. I guess like the show. I don't know what I want from the show, and the thing is, it surprises me every single time, and that's good, and that's fine. So I should just be happy
from the show. I'm just fine with whatever Will Forte wants to give me.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Show I loved this week. It's not new, but it was a season premiere. American Horror Story.
Really?
Yes. I love that show in general. But this season, the mystery leading up where they released like the 24 trailers, they didn't tell you which one was real.
It was the Roanoke one.
It's Roanoke, yes.
Yeah.
And they actually did not confirm it was American Horror Story Roanoke until like 5 days after it aired. But It was, and they have not sent any episodes to press to review. They're playing it mum, and they did say what you see in the pilot won't necessarily be what it is going forward. But what they did in the pilot was,
I heard about this.
It's My Roanoke Nightmare, and it's a dramatization of real events. So you get actors talking to the camera, and then you get to see different actors playing those characters, acting it out. And so you know those are over dramatized, but you're not exactly sure where it's going with that. And I'm thinking there might be some time travel crap in this with Kathy Bates. Cool. Sarah Paulson and Cuba Gooding are the main couple in the dramatization, and they're great, along with Angela Bassett. And then it's like Lily Rabe and Adina Porter and somebody else that are telling the story to the cameras. No, I loved it so much. I haven't watched episode 2 from last night yet because, as we've established, it's on at 10 p.m. and that's past my bedtime.
Right.
But I cannot wait to watch episode 2 tonight because American Horror Story. I mean, I love that show anyway, but Roanoke was
who's the creator of that?
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah,
and Brad Fulcher.
I don't usually. It takes me. I have to get through that. To be honest with you, he burned me so much on Glee and Nip Tuck. I was just.
I never watched Nip Tuck. Glee was very, very uneven. American Horror Story, American Crime Story, his HBO movie The Normal Heart. These have all been excellent. These have all been
phenomenal. But that was a play that he just.
I know.
Uses.
But American Horror Story and American Crime Story are both excellent shows.
Okay, that was the one. People versus O.J. Simpson,
yes.
right?
Season 1 was. Season 2 is going to be Katrina.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
They asked Ryan Murphy how you classify that as an American crime, because O.J. Simpson obviously was a specific case. He said the way the government mishandled it is a crime against the American people, and it's going to focus on the immediate aftermath of the hurricane. It's not going to... Like, his story will probably be done before Treme would even start, so he's not going to step on their toes.
I know, well, yeah,
he's going to concentrate on the mishandling through the justice system. Well, no, Treme concentrated on the spirit of the neighborhood and what that city was.
Yeah, but
this is not the
first
focus
season
for
was
Crime
really
Story.
about also the failures of local.
But in the context and of the perspective of the locals, I feel this is going to much more focus on the legal and governmental aspects.
That's true.
It'll be different
because the only insight we had was Melissa Leo's character,
right?
Which whatever.
Yeah, it'll be different enough.
Okay.
I think. No, I'm excited because People vs. OJ was wonderful.
That was one of those ones where I heard nothing but good things about it.
Except Travolta. He was terrible. I don't know how he was Emmy nominated.
See that? Oh man, that makes me sad because he used to be a good actor.
I think he's probably still a good actor. I've seen clips of the guy who was playing, and I think
Shapiro. Now, see the clips I saw of Travolta. My memory of Shapiro was like he looks weird and creepy like Shapiro did.
I think he probably got Shapiro pretty well. It's such a hard character to watch. I did not enjoy his performance.
Who did Schwimmer play?
Schwimmer played Robert Kardashian.
Okay.
You get a scene like early on American Crime Story where OJ is in Kim Kardashian's bedroom going to kill himself, and it just informs a lot of what's come after it. Wow. From a cultural standpoint. Yeah. It also strikes me as I watch those early episodes of People vs. OJ, and I admit I have not yet finished that season. I need to finish it because I really love what I've seen. Of course, we have David playing Rob. We have Chris, the mother, who would eventually become Kris Jenner. And then the kids are just kids at this point. And they, what we see of it, even though they're already like divorcing and everything, it makes me wonder how those Kardashian girls would have turned out had Robert Kardashian not died so young. If they would have been better people had their father not passed away.
Wait. He passed away?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, not during the trial. It was after the trial was over, so not in the episodes.
Okay.
But he passed away pretty young. I want to say like 2002, 2003 maybe. And it makes me wonder how the Kardashian family might have been different had he survived.
Interesting. Because I did.
Schwimmer was excellent.
Schwimmer, man. You've seen Stranger Things.
Yes.
All
of it?
I don't think you watched the Emmys, did you?
Yes.
You did?
I always skim them.
Well, you skim them. Did you finally watch because Netflix, I think, asked Jimmy Kimmel to release it. Jimmy Kimmel, because ABC, they released the actual intro of the kids singing Uptown Funk.
I heard about it. I haven't watched it.
It's halfway through, you're like, okay, they're singing Uptown Funk. But it's just cool because, and God love those kids.
Kimmel wasn't great.
Well, I didn't actually watch the Emmys this year. It's for sure I have not watched the Emmys. Yeah, I was very surprised about it. But the whole bit with him getting the kids to pass out the PB&J.
Yeah.
There was one shot where Eleven gave it to Schwimmer, and Schwimmer's like, "Oh, it was a very okay. This is horrible because Schwimmer probably hates you because this is why he didn't do a lot of stuff publicly in a while, that movie TV wise, which is, oh, it's Ross. My first thought was like, oh, that's a very Ross thing because he's very like, oh, thanks. Well, thank you. You know, and even my fiance watched. She's like, oh my god, it was Ross. I was like, yeah.
But I've seen him act in other things where he's
I
not
have
Ross
too.
at all.
Paul Bear is phenomenal. There was a movie HBO did, I think, while Friends was going, I think called Boob Men, where he played him and oh my god, he's the American Chris something or other. He was the bad guy in American Beauty. He's the bad guy in the Muppets. Chris, I'm Tex Richmond. I'm Texas
Cooper.
T. Chris Cooper, yes. Him and Cooper play the guys that created breast enlargements.
Oh.
And it's about their story, about how they kind of forced it to become a thing, and it shows what happens to them.
I hope it didn't portray them in a positive light.
No, matter of fact, David Schwimmer's character gets killed. Like, he died in real life, and they were very gory with it.
Can I just go on the record by saying I am not a fan of breast augmentation?
Even the kind where it's for reduction?
Okay, I said augmentation, which is enlargement.
Reduction
for health reasons.
Fair enough. To me, augmentation means it could be augmented for anyway. But
I think you add two.
To be fair, though, health-wise, they probably do mean augmentation as in
when breast reductions for health reasons. I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. We can do that for people. Take the pain off their back. You know, if it's causing them issues, absolutely. But breast enlargement, I am never a fan of, and I don't like when women have fake boobs at all. And I know it's their body; they can do whatever they want with them. But it makes me sad that any of them feel the need, and that it's become such a common thing to get that done. I enjoy my porn a lot more if there's not fake boobs in it.
Now, what if there are men that feel they need to be women and need to be augmented?
Well, that's different, because then we're again talking to medical situations. You're talking about like transgendered that are trying to appear like women. That again is different because it's for health reasons, whether it be mental health or physical health.
I just want to see how far you're there.
Or, you know, a woman that gets mastectomy for breast cancer and wants to have them rebuilt. That's completely different as well. Totally in favor of that. I think it's just cosmetic surgery to have larger breasts is, even when we were being sexist on the podcast, I was never a fan of that.
You act like it was just, yesterday.
It pretty much was.
It was last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, well, wait a minute. No, we weren't sexist. Yeah, we were sexist. Yeah, we were. Never mind. For some reason, I was thinking of
we pledged to stop being sexist.
I was thinking of racism. That's what I was thinking of. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're not.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No, and I'm committed to our pledge to not be sexist, because we're not sexist in real life, and it's stupid that I think it's just because we're like, we're guys hanging out in a basement, nobody hears us anyway, we're goofing off, and we're not. We're recording and releasing.
It's always the word. Okay, by the way, so the person who does my pastor, he actually is a major improv guy. He actually knows all the Mad Lab guys.
Nice.
And he hangs out with them occasionally too. And matter of fact, Eric, I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Sternberger?
Yeah, Sternberger. He actually told me that he's a great coach. If you're going to have improv, you should go talk to him. Because I brought up your show, that I'm in though. And he's like, that is really cool. I know all those men. Do you know like Stephen Woosley? I was like, yeah. I was like,
of course we know Woosley.
Yeah, and I was like, and then of course I was like, Woosley. Yeah, that's the big thing for us. But he mentioned that there is. Why was I going to bring this up? Shit, I was going somewhere with this guy. Darn it. We were talking about right before. We were talking about being sexist, racist, but what was the last thing you said before that? Before I started going off.
That we're not going to be sexist anymore.
Yeah, there was something there.
Okay.
I lost it. The point was he mentioned... I know what it was. He was talking about there's a study. And what they do is they take a person... so, like, say you and I are facing each other, and then behind you there's another person on your back, and they set up, like, 5 people, or 6 people like that.
I don't see anybody behind me.
2.
Okay.
And what they do is they have someone go, I don't care what you're going to tell the other person, I want you to tell that person a story. And the person behind you is going to listen, and the person in front of you that you're facing is going to listen. And then they're going to one of the other people back there is going to do like raise their hand up, and that's when the person listening isn't supposed to just pull out their phone and just start like checking. They want them to genuinely check their Facebook, but also pay attention to the story. And they said every single time there was only one person who didn't do a full on like you could just see the panic in their eyes, and the only person that knew that was going to happen were the one person first listening to the story, and then he would just go over and he goes, like tap him on the shoulder, and he's like, when I do that, I want you to raise your hand. Okay. The other guy telling the story has no clue about it, and it just keeps going down the line, and it's just it was a study, and he goes, it's like you're looking into an audience, and it's just more like, oh my God, what are they saying? What are they doing? Are they listening to me? And the telling of the story became very jumbled, and they lost it. And when the person started paying attention again, and the reason this is where I was going with this,
because you started telling the story, I picked up my phone.
No,
Because I did.
Well, no. We were talking about doing the podcast about saying things in front of other people.
Sure.
And I was going like, oh my God, I've had that feeling when we were doing GBG Live once, and it's the worst feeling in the world because we have no script, we have nothing to go off of necessarily. And if I have to talk to people up there, I will panic because I'm actually looking forward to doing the Mad Lab thing because I won't be able to see anybody as well. Because if we're in Pack Rat, I see people, I can see people.
Sure.
And it's usually not bad. Usually they're listening at me, but like one person, someone's wife has very beautiful like, colored hair or whatever, and sometimes they're just pushing the hair out of their eyes, but I'll for a second go, oh my God, she's not listening to me. I'm not holding her attention enough. The worst feeling of the world. And that's kind of what that whole point is. I hate you so much. He picked up his phone. Well done. Salute. So, but no, I was just like, oh my God, I've had that feeling so many times.
The sun.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to. Well, my fiance, that's a running joke with her, is that she's like, the sun's in my eyes. I then just step right into the frame.
It's actually above your head.
I know. I realized that when I.
You're not as tall as Nathan. Although you're saying down, he's going to smell back. He probably won't be tall enough.
That's great.
Let's rack on Nathan because he can't hear it.
Yeah.
He won't hear it. Not that he can, he won't. Okay, this is a very long episode.
It is. We are at an hour 29. I might actually edit some stuff. You laugh, Chuckles. You laugh.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. So anything else you want to just throw out there? Just like a quick, it was good. Check it out. TV show-wise. Nothing? Okay. All right, well, everybody, thanks for listening. If you have different thoughts, email us.
Keep them to yourself.
Keep them to yourself, but then mull them for a bit, and then email us at goodbadgeeky@gmail.com, and we'll mention it on the show.
Maybe.
Or maybe.
Maybe.
We might talk about it to ourselves. Maybe. Or tweet us at goodbadgeeky. Maybe. Yeah, so thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you on episode 308.
Jeez! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!